pro-life?
I am pro-life because of my story. I grew up my whole life being pro-life, but it wasn't until 27 years old I actually got to find my birth mom. I tracked her down, reunited with her, and I found out when I met her that I was actually conceived and she had 5.
That's heavy. So his mom, who I want to say was, it sounds like she was developmentally delayed, was raped by 5 guys.
Oh my goodness. What, dude?
She kept him, put him up for adoption, and he's here now.
Men that actually turned 18 years old. She was actually only an 11-year-old mental capacity. This had happened to her. She didn't tell anybody. She was in a mental facility. She had no family, no home, no money, no resources. So, you know, the world's looking, would say she's a poster child, right? To justify me not being here. But even with only an 11-year-old mental capacity, she fought for her baby. To me, it's like, man, if my mom can do that for me, and then I have this story to share, you know, I have to take a stand. And Sir Edmund Burke says the only thing necessary for evil to triumph is for good men to do nothing. If I can be a voice to help save a baby or to challenge the status quo, you know, to say, hey, now you've met this person and you put a face to what some would say is a justifiable exception, but I'm more than that.
Is a justifiable exception, but I'm more than that.
Live action putting together daggone 60-second documentaries.
I'm going to pull up something else.
That was crazy, Ruslan.
I'm going to pull up something else.
Yo, this is why I had to get off social media. Oh my goodness.
I'm going to pull up something else.
Oh my goodness.
See, when something happens when we humanize these situations. You understand?
There's also a lot of good worth highlighting. On each episode, we're going to spotlight a person, a group, or a movement building up the culture of life. This first installment of our pro-life focus is powerful. So often when pro-lifers talk about ending abortion, we say we need to be a voice for the voiceless. That, however, does not apply in this case. Today, we introduce you to a woman who survived an attempt and is speaking for herself in a bold way. Weighing less than 3 pounds, Melissa Odin was born beating the odds. She is a survivor of a failed saline infusion abortion.
God did have a plan.
It's a procedure that injects a toxic salt solution into the amniotic fluid surrounding a preborn child. Cared for by NICU nurses at first, baby Melissa was soon adopted into a loving home. Now, Odin is a wife and mother, a Catholic convert, and a pro-life advocate.
Hello?
Darkness.
With speeches spanning from pregnancy centers to Capitol Hill.
I'm here today to share my story to not only highlight the horror of taking place at Planned Parenthood, but to give a voice to other survivors like me.
It's a journey detailed in her new memoir, You Carried Me, released this month. Melissa recounts a series of tough truths, including when she, as a teenager, learned about the abortion attempt on her life.
To be 14 years old, it absolutely devastated my life. And I think like so many young people, right, I didn't want anybody else to know how much I was hurting.
So Melissa turned to what she calls her unholy trinity of coping mechanisms: bulimia, alcohol, and sex.
Oh, man. Oh, brutal.
People often ask me, you know, how did you ever come out of that? And I always say it really wasn't me. It wasn't. It was the grace of God that saved me. And I had to be willing to wake up and every day say, you know what, I'm not going to do that today, right?
The focus of the memoir continues onto Melissa's search for her birth mother as she wonders whose blood runs through my veins. She discovers her birth mother was a 19-year-old college student pressured to get an abortion.
Which I don't think it's a demo, but you want to know who they say is the #1 key influencer on a woman to do this?
Family?
A man.
A man. Okay.
Usually the boyfriend.
The boyfriend.
Sometimes the doctor. Sometimes the dad.
The patriarchy. That's crazy.
Had been dead for over 30 years. Odin's perspective throughout the journey is strikingly compassionate.
She's been dead for over 30 years, is that what she said?
I think so.
Oh my goodness.
Tell us how you came to have that approach.
It's a response that I think has deepened over time. I've always loved her, but my love for her deepens year after year. And not just because the circumstances of her life and mine are now different, right? I know the truth about how she was forced into that. But I think the older I get, the more I learn how to love people and respect them for who they are. And I think motherhood has been a bond that she and I can really connect on that level. And so it's a love story, right? It's a love story that God wrote and man attempted to rewrite that whole story. And God's story wins in the end.
Now you had finished this book, you had finished your memoir, you were done, and then something happened. And then you met your birth mother for the first time.
Oh wait, so she wasn't dead over 30 years, my bad.
Tell us about that.
Whew. That's where I have to take a deep breath. After everything I've gone through in my life and my healing from it, my tears are not tears of pain. My tears are just tears of incredible gratitude, right? I was not expecting to meet her in the course of the last few months. You know, we have spent years getting to know one another, build trust, uncover secrets together. And so we met face to face for this first time early this summer. And I guess the short version of that would be it was everything I ever could have expected and more. To know that she spent over 30 years of her life believing that I had died at the hospital, you know.
What? So that's what they're saying. They're saying that was the bit we missed. The biological mom believed that she's been dead for 30 years.
It's crazy.
And the nurses took care of the baby, and then we're like, oh, now she's going to the foster care system and adoption. And,
Yeah.
whoa.
Because I believe, now I'm not an expert on this, if a baby survives, they had to provide life-saving care.
Yeah, which was repealed by Tim Walz in Minnesota, right?
In Minnesota.
Bruh.
So when we say
This
this never happens, it does happen.
Oh.
People have survived it. And under his policies, they wouldn't have to legally take care of the surviving. He's already going through something so awful, and they don't have to provide any sort of care and just throw the baby there to die. Let the baby sit there and die.
Oh my goodness.
So when you guys are like, this is affecting women's, and what about the 10? It's like, what about this lady?
Hello. What about this woman?
What about this woman
What about this woman's body?
who's now a mom, who now has made a huge net positive impact on the world? What about her rights? Like, stop thinking about them as these clump of cells tucked away that,
Weirdos.
you know?
Yeah.
Like, I think this, again, so when someone's pro-choice, I don't think they have all the information. I don't think they have all the information. I don't think they have all the variables. All we could do is be compassionate and loving, but then also just provide that this is the information. I can't change the anchoring bias. I can't change your mind. I can't change your heart, but this is the reality of what the implications of these policies are not in a microcosm that are without consequence. And at scale, on society. When I say, like, why do we have seatbelt laws? Because it protects society. We need to
take away your rights to bodily autonomy, Ruslan.
Which, by the way, seatbelt laws were a huge big deal.
Yeah.
People were pissed when you had to wear a seatbelt. You guys don't remember that.
And when you couldn't drink and drive, there's that funny video too.
Is there a video about that? Okay, we'll come back to
We'll
that.
up in a second.
How she suffered from immense regret and guilt. And then to have the opportunity to know that her child is alive and loves her and has forgiven her, and then get to meet face to face. Yeah, my excitement was for her probably more than me. But it was life-changing. I will never forget the moment that I saw her and we got to embrace. And I think the words that came out of my mouth was, "It's been a long time."
Oh my gosh. They got you. They got you. They got you.
Oh, man.
That's all you, dog. That man had the, He got you. Man, that's crazy, yo. Yo, that's not nothing. Oh.
Whew. Yeah, that's heavy. Hey, thank you so much for checking out the video. Comment down below and let me know what you think. And be sure to check out this video that YouTube is recommending just for you. Let me know if they nailed it. All right? I'll see you over there. Peace.